Hi guys, it's EG's here. So here I am with a Messiah deck profile. I finally get my chance to playtest the deck today. So I have created this deck profile. It's basically almost the same with what we have in the premium deck set, but I did change a little bit, and it's kind of different to what is going on right now because I know that will work. So uh, I tried something else which I think could work, but unfortunately it didn't get to uh, come out that much as I wanted to be. But uh, the idea is here, so I think I will share with you guys and what you can change to be what more people are using currently. So let's go to deck profile. First, with the right line is what we have from the Messiah set, and then we have our crest as well. So Brazil, nothing too much to worry about. Grade 1, you get this crest and also get a draw 1. Grade 2, you usually do nothing, but it's a very important card for you that whenever it's in soul, and then when your grade 4 Messiah comes to the Vanguard circle, you can actually call this card to the Vanguard circle and soul charge 1. One thing that I always forgot, which in the future actual deck fight that I'm going to show you guys, I will be kind of missing this soul charge 1 because I always forget. But that's why I need to keep reminding myself that the soul charge 1 is actually happening. It's helping you to get to the draw part of Alter Ego Messiah, which is important, and this is a card that helps you, saves you at least for one turn, basically your first striding turn when you have an empty field, because there are a lot of decks that are good at wiping the board while you only have 1 to 2 regards extra on the field. So this card, whenever you stride, you can come up from soul and you can immediately lock it with your Vanguard striding skill. So it's very important to actually have this card, even though you don't have choice on choosing what right line you want to be. But in the end, it's a very helpful card, and during the time when this card get unlocked, you can add a 10k power buff to one of your units that is in the same column with this card, so it also help you win games, which this card will be somehow a good target for your opponents to actually get rid of. So you probably can do it once, but being able to save you again from one turn of empty field and allowing you to use your strike skill, which is immediately helping you by a lot. But this card cannot lock itself, so and so far we don't have other actual options to actually lock this card except for a Vanguard skill. So if you need to lock something else, then that will be a problem, right? Or if you are hoping to find some cards that actually allows you to lock it, it will be hard because you have to kind of hard locking it through other skill that is full of randomness. There's no other skill that select this card except the Vanguard skill when striding. So do be careful about that. But overall, is all you need to know about this. And then your Vanguard, when you stride, you can count +1 to lock one of yours and lock one of your opponent. So that's why a lot of people, when they are trying to fight against a Messiah deck, what they will do is they're trying to wipe your whole field. So you get back to your turn, if you don't have your Grade 2 Messiah, then what you have to do is to just try and do nothing, because you will not be able to actually activate this strike skill. Yeah, which is quite sad. And the reason why is, of course, because when you stride, you need to count +1 and select one of your regards to lock in order to actually use the skill. So if you don't have the regard, too bad, right? So do be careful about this, and you should be fine with the right line. And then it's all about soul blasting on GB2. When cards unlock, you get a soul blast 1 per unlock to draw 1, which is very important to give you a lot of hands, but your soul will be so easy to get empty. And another thing for people who don't know how strides, unlock, and stuff works, what I would suggest you is when you end your turn, when you're grade 4 on top striding, right? You end your turn, you have your lock cards like this. You first put your grade 4 back to your G zone face up first, and then do your unlocking, and then do your GB2. Be careful about the sequence so that you will not kind of mix any situation to make it bad, because sometimes it's not your fault, it's not your opponent's fault, but when you unlock things first and then put your G zone back and you want to draw, some people will just not allow you to do that, and it may not be a good way to actually trying to draw, because when a judge comes in, they can say because you unlock yourself first, you put your card back to your G zone after, then when this guy is checking anything, nothing happens. So yeah, just make sure you do the sequence right, then both sides will not have any problem. You get your draw, your opponents get to see what you are doing, everyone's happy, right? Okay, let's go with rest of the main deck first, because the stride deck is basically fixed. First, 3 more Alter Ego Messiah, and be using old cards with 1 new cards. Not that I don't have any other old copies, but I just want to have different versions in there. I don't have the SP version, unfortunately, so it is what I have. You won't be actually writing another copy because it's not related to personal right. You will be using this card as an important stride order to actually activate one of your strides, so you do have max it out just in case you need any kind of stride order, you'll have it. And then Astrolabe Dragon. So this is another strike order and allows you to actually draw 1 card if you ditched it for using as a strike cost, and you get a GB2 skill that as long as any player have a lock card, it will get 10k power, so it's a powerful beater. But unfortunately, for a game that I actually tested, I don't have a chance to let this happen. Like usually I lock my front row already, that is not this card, or when I unlock because my opponent wiped my field, so I can't use a strike skill, so what unlock is only on my side, and unless I really actually keep one, which will usually be this, and I'd rather have the 10k plus to help me adjust stuff, which will be basically the same while you do have that. So to me, it doesn't matter that much while I don't have a lot of soul to keep drawing cards, so it may not proc the plus 10k that easily, but there's a chance that you only lock one side, and this can attack as a 23 to maybe 33k depending on how many G zones that you flip before. And it's still a very good card that allows you to draw one while you stride, so you don't hurt that much. Yeah, so it's a kind of important piece, but only running free. And then what I'm using is the Prism package that I'm used to Prism to soul charge, because the soul usage is very high, even though we do have other soul charging options, but I think using Prism will be a more budget option that is outside of this premium deck set. You can use Mikani, which a lot of people trying to use it for the soul charging, and some people don't even use Mikani at all. That is totally fine, and this is a test for me to actually using the Prism package to see if it works for a few reasons. One, you do have this as an option to the B heroes to retire the front row by counter plus 1, and since you're using Prism, you have a chance to actually use your Sarah Snow skill to counter plus 1 to Prism 2 units, because it's a Vanguard and Regard active skill, so you actually do that. Now you can't ride on top of your Messiah because it's not allowed, so you won't be having the first skill at all, so she mainly is here as a strike order or when you need to present something while you have a present. Sadly saying, is a little bit hard to actually get both in, but since you actually get to draw a lot, so it's not impossible, and against some deck that use a lot of resources to attack you, this is a good card to actually stop them from doing a lot of things, right? Because you prison 2 cards, which means they actually need to give you a counterblast to call 2 back, or they need to soul blast 2 to call them back, and sometimes those cost is something that actually costs them to win you the game. So even they can counterblast 1 and bring 2 back, maybe they don't have enough counterblast to do whatever they need to do. Even just doing so is helping you a lot, but make sure you don't use this prison set if your opponent has a lot of on-play skill, because you will allow them to actually get to call to radar circle and use the on-play skill again. If that's the case, you will just use the prison as a soul charging resources, and you will use your Sarah Snow as a strike order. So it's not completely useless here. You still get to use her for something, so I think it's still good. But this is the free space that if you really want to use something else, the B hero is what you need to do. But if you want to try this out, feel free to, because depending on the meta, maybe, just maybe, there will be a lot of heavy cost using deck like Wellstra with all the new stuff. Then you need to Soul Blast 2 with the new guy to activate your product, and then you do need to counterblast quite a lot to do a lot of things. And if you are taking those away from them, taking the key parts away from them, they will be in a trouble to save their units while giving you a lot of resources that stop their attack. So they have the meaning here. It's up to you which one you want to use. Alright. And the next, for the Arrestor, just because it's just good as an attacker, this card locks itself so that you can unlock it with your other skill. That's basically it. And then Klein. So this is another new card, a very interesting support that you get with the set. So first skill is during your turn, if any player have a lock card, it will get plus 5k, which is very good for power adjustment. And the second skill, when this card unit attack battle ends, if you have a alter ego Messiah crest, you can retire this unit, look at top 3, call one, put 1 card down there as a lock card to empty circle, and the rest to the bottom of the deck. So this will also generate you a lock card, so you can do multiple attacks with it. And it's good that as long as you have the crest, you can use the skill. So even if you want to flex, you can just do it during your grade 2 turn, although it's not needed at all, but there's a chance that you can actually do that. I don't know why. Maybe you just want to switch this to something else, but usually I just keep it on the field until I really need to generate a lock card. And it is a good target for your opponents to just chase, so that you don't have to get to do your combo, but it's a good bait, right? When you play this card, you know that you will have another copy for you to do your stuff, or you have enough resources to protect it, or you will be actually retiring on the turn that you call, so you don't need to worry about that at all. And then 2 of the Destiny Dealer, because I run so many grade 3s, I am kind of confident on my striding cost. That's why I'm only using 2. Some people use 4 while they are like switching all these to grade 2s where you only have 6 to 7 strike order. Then you will be using more of your Destiny Dealer to actually increase the chance that you get to stride, even though you usually don't get to stride that much, but who knows, right? And then 4 of the Herbert Claw. So this is a Messiah shield value provider. It's a tanky shield, and whenever other units unlocked is on the rear circle, you can put this card into your soul. So it allows you to unlock, put this card into your soul, and immediately use this soul for your alter ego Messiah to drawing card, which is why important and I use it for. If you don't spam your souls that much, this will be enough for you to just get your draws. Enough. That's why you can use your B heroes instead of these. But do be careful on your soul usage again. This card can only fill you one, and it will be gone. So do be careful. And then 2 of the Sacrifice Messiah. I tried a few games. Of course, this card is great for locking itself, giving your Vanguard power. But then the counter charge skill maybe is because when the decks I play is usually a lot aggressive, or they just hit me that hard that I don't get to use all of the counter blast in order to do the counter charge. So I don't quite see the counter charge as being helpful to me. That's why I'm using 2. And that actually proves me right during the matches that I play. Yeah, and because I will have one back row to be one of my Awakened Messiah, so I don't need that much. Great one at the back, and this is the main reason I'm using 2. Also because the deck space is kind of tight, so I share the 4 slots between these 2. So far it's doing me okay, and you can test it out and see if you like the only 2. And then 4 PGs, of course. If you want to use the order PG, you can, but so far this do the job, so I just let it be. Triggers. Brain Gate OT, just OP as is, so you don't need to talk about that too much. Sowing crit, important, we need souls. And then 4 more crits, 3 draws. If you have the tanky draws, feel free to use that, and heals. The reason I'm not using that, the tanky draw, is just because I don't have it. If I have it, I will just immediately put 3 to 4 in, and I'm willing to cut 1 crit off for another tanky draw. And because I don't have that, so I choose the shield value rather than the draw, to become 8 crit, 3 draw, 4 heals, 1 over. But if I do have the effect draws as well, then I will go for 7 crit, 4 draw, 4 heals, and 1 over. That will be my lineup. And then the G zone is just very, very simple with Excellence Messiah and NSC Messiah. So NSC Messiah is definitely your first one to strive for, that you don't need to think about. Is a card that when attacked, you can have +1, flip 1 G zone up, which is important for you to activate your crest to immediately give power to your front row. And then you can choose any number of your opponents and your lock card to unlock, and for each card unlocked, you will get you will choose one of your regard instead of itself, and give 5k per unlock the card. So if you unlock 3, you choose one regard to +15k. It's still important, quite good. It's your main strive order, and then Excellence is basically what you will flip, and what you will use it for once or twice max, to basically try to finish the game off. So what Excellence does is a GB2 skill, so you actually need to go through NSD first, and when this unit attacks, you can counter +1, and then you can choose your opponents and your lock card in any number and lock them. If you unlock, then you can choose your regards up to the number of cards that you unlocked and stand them. So if your card is already locked and unlocked, that doesn't matter. But sometimes you just can't lock everything else. You do have a unlocked. not locking units, so it's just a normal unit finish attacking, then you can just bring it up. And then during your turn, your front row unit will get plus 10k, and this unit will get 1 crit. So it's a very good pusher, but usually you just need to use it once or twice, so this will be the main flipper when you use your MSD Messiah skill to flip something face up. But it at least allows you to do 5 attacks a lot easier, right? So you can do 1 with your rearguard, 1 with your rearguard, lock themselves, use Vanguard to go, unlock one side so they can attack again, stand the other side that is not being locked, so you can do 5 attacks. And it suddenly gets a plus 10k and a crit. The only weak point with Excellent Messiah is this card does not increase your GB during your battle with your Vanguard. Because your NSD, you cut lost 1 and you flip 1, and that immediately provides the 5k to your front row. This does not. This will still keeps you at 2 because you only can activate this card at GB2, so you will still be plus 10k to your front row. That's all you have. And if this card go back, then of course you will get another 5k, but that's for another turn. So immediately for the turn that you are attacking, you won't be able to get the benefit, but it's still a very good finisher, still a very good game chaser. It's like when you don't have enough damage input, this is definitely a card that you can go in. Yeah, that's basically it for this. But I think one more important thing is when you need to strike this card, you will need to use a Messiah card as a strike cost in order to do that. So that will be your Alter Ego Messiah immediately, and that's why I'm maxing out my Alter Ego Messiah so that I can get access to this card whenever I need to. Yeah. So now let's also trying to show you some of the formation or like some of the setup that you will be hoping to achieve with this deck. Assume your opponents don't retire any of your stuff. It is hard, but just hope that is. So you have your Vanguard, right? And then usually what you will strike into is this, and you will have this right here. Just assume. So if you are first strike, you have any board, then this will come out. And do remember the Soul Touch one. Again, I keep forgetting, but do remember that. That's all I can remind. And then you immediately lock this card, right? And what you do next? You have one of these. You have one of these. And you have one of these. Probably, hopefully, right? Or even just this. That works too, doesn't matter. So you have a lock card, this will plus 5. And when they swing, this will plus 5. So you lock this, and then you swing with these, and then you pop this, you lock this, and while you pop, you will just get a random stuff, which for me, I don't know why, I usually get this, and it gets unlocked, right? And then you will swing with this. Now, depending on how many souls you have, in here we have 2 because the crest is something else, so it doesn't really matter too much with the board because these 2 will be able to lock themselves again, so I will just unlock all these, right? This one plus 10, this because I unlocked 4, I will just plus 20 to this side because this side doesn't have any kind of power boost except with the G-Zone flip that you just did when you are using your stride. Say this, right? And then you do your triple drive, and then this will swing again, this and then lock itself. This will swing again, this will lock itself, right? So when this go back, and then you do your unlock, and then you will Soul Blast 2, you draw 2, right? So, and then if you are afraid that next turn you have no soul to use, then you can just put this card into yourself immediately. But if you are okay, Then you can leave this here as a target because you can still use it for attacker next turn. And you just kind of keep repeating the process while you have these and these to do attacks no matter which side they are. And then whenever you get to stride, you lock this. Basically that's what it does. Yeah. And if you have a prison, then you can just immediately rest this, right? And then call something else. Maybe you are lucky enough to have your Snow with a lot of card loss, then you can also prison 2 units and still get to swing this, pop, and maybe you get this, swing of these, and then this. But and this time usually what you will be striding is your Exodus. So now you swing with these, card loss 1, unlock all these. If your opponent still have a lock card, then this will plus 10 and this will plus 10, and it will plus 10 here, so it's already a 43k beast stick. And you will also get the plus 10k to your front row, that will be crazy. And because you have unlock 3, you get to stand 3 yards, and then you can do your 5 attacks, right? Usually that end games, usually. But again, your field is so fragile. By fragile, I mean your units do not have any kind of protection, basically. They are strong units, but you don't have protection at all. So they will just simply get stamped by any kind of retiring, bind, any kind of skill like that affects your field, bounce back to hand, bounce back to deck, that allowing you not able to do a strike skill. Your only hope is this, but you only have 1 chance, unless you are playing multiple copies, which I don't see this deck, this current moment, have the space to do it. So yeah, that's one main point about this deck, but there's a lot of players actually using Messiah to starting to top, so it isn't a bad deck at all. But depending on how many like other retiring heavy decks appearing on the board, you will still be having trouble when using this deck. But it's cool. It's cool to play with it. You don't actually need to use a lot of expensive card, because the most recent tournament result proving you don't need Mikani at all. So that's a good thing. I will also be trying the B Heroes tactics to see if that works, but so far I want to keep testing through using Snow as a interesting backup plan, because who knows, once the next meta actually comes out, maybe she will be important, right? So I will just keep this style for a moment, and then if I really need to change it, I will. Yeah, so that's basically the deck profile. Give this video a like, share it with your friends, comment down below if you have any questions or anything you want to discuss. Subscribe to my channel for more deck profiles, deck unboxings, product unboxings, booster unboxings, and then deck profiles, of course, deck fights. There's a lot of things that are happening. There's a lot of deck profiles that I still need to change. Definitely one of the Dragon Tree is coming out. Definitely a Bruce coming out. So you will be able to see all these in the future very, very soon. But I just want to keep the Messiah out first because it's new. So I just want to get it out first, and then you will see the rest in the following weeks. Yeah. So that's it for me today. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you guys in the next video. Signing off.